All right, well, hello everyone and happy Thursday. It's digital host A.J. Wuest welcoming you back to Before the Four. Of course, the live stream where I go through some of 48's top news stories and then some before our 4 o'clock newscast. I say it every day wherever you're watching Before the Four this Thursday afternoon, whether it's on Facebook, YouTube, or the 48 Now live stream. As always, thank you so much for watching and spending just a bit of your afternoon here. Now, let's begin in Hartselle, where earlier today we learned that a man has been arrested following a deadly shooting in the area. Police said the shooting happened at a home on Stage Road. They have now identified the victim as 59-year-old Nancy Deanne Sandlin Fox. She was found dead at the scene. Now, the suspect, 25-year-old Wyatt Young of Falkville, that's who you're seeing on screen, was found unarmed at the scene and cooperated with law enforcement. He was arrested and charged with capital murder. Police say dispatchers received information indicating an argument unfolded at the home, followed by the sound of gunshots. Young is currently inside the Morgan County Jail without bond, and police said the shooting was an isolated incident with no threat to the public. And 48's Callie Neese will have more details on this situation coming up in our evening newscasts. And also in Morgan County, today we learned that a man was arrested after a months-long investigation into the possession of child sexual abuse material. Now, back in January, the Decatur Police Department received information that someone who lived on Magnolia Street was uploading child sexual abuse material via a social media app. Now, according to court records, social media app Kik provided the account owner's information, including the IP address being used. Once the information was received by officials, Dakota Charles Epps, that's who you're seeing on screen, was identified as the suspect. Epps was arrested yesterday following a search of his home. During the investigation, he was allegedly found to have at least 3 videos of child sexual abuse material. Epps was charged with 3 counts of possession. He was booked into the Morgan County Jail, where he is being held on a $300,000 bond. But now, let's take a look at the weather as we edge closer to the holiday weekend. First Alert Chief Meteorologist Brad Travis lets us know what to expect. Brad?
We've got quiet weather. It's hot. It's going to get hotter. Highs today have only been in the low 90s. We do expect it to be a little bit warmer, but that'll catch up with us tomorrow. Not expecting any rain, though, and most areas will stay rain-free. We've got heavy traffic out there, so if you're getting ready to step out and head out for your vacation plans, or maybe you're just sticking home trying to make it to the grocery store to stock up for tomorrow's feast, if you're going to have one like that, expect a lot of traffic out there. It's going to take you about 5, maybe 10 minutes more to get to where you're going. Temperatures currently here after 3 o'clock, right around 90 degrees. Feels every bit of it. Make sure you're staying hydrated. Here's your grilling forecast. I think I'm going to have me a steak instead of a hamburger and hot dog, but whatever you choose, right? Hot weather continues. The next few days will all be pretty much the same. Here's that 4th of July forecast. 95 tomorrow, mostly sunny. And as we get into the evening hours, just in time for fireworks, it'll be dry and 79 degrees. Here's that forecast for the next 3 days. Really looking good, but hot. Stay hydrated. Keep it on your pets as well. Temperatures in the mid-90s, feeling closer to 100 degrees with morning lows around 72. I cannot rule out a very small rogue shower or thunder shower over the weekend.
Well, sounds good. And also make sure to stick around for Weather Extra. That is tonight at 9:30. First Alert Chief Meteorologist Brad Travis will be back here in the CTV Center, and he'll be giving all the latest that he's seeing on the radar. Again, you can watch that wherever you're watching Before the Four right now. But now, following up on a situation we first brought you on Tuesday, a Huntsville Public Works employee is dead and 2 others are injured following a crash in Marshall County. 48's Callie Neese with more.
After yesterday's wreck, there were a lot of unanswered questions. Why were 3 city employees in a city-issued car in a city that was in a completely different county during business hours? These questions led me to search the city's policies. I dug deeper into the city's 2024 Personal Policy and Procedures Manual. It outlines who and when city vehicles can be used for city business. Those city officials claim that policies and procedures include protocols for what to do after an employee is involved in an accident, I could not find any verbiage on it in the Personal Policies and Procedures Manual. I did get a statement from the city saying when an employee is involved in an accident while driving a city vehicle, they assess each incident on a case-by-case basis. While looking for more answers, I spoke with City Councilman Bill Kling. He told me they are in shock.
Assistance is being provided. There's going to be counseling available for city employees, especially those in that department. And again, we care. We want to do as much as we possibly can.
He adds that the mayor has already spoken with the families of the 3 Public Works employees along with the Public Works Department.
And myself and the other city council members, along with the mayor, certainly want to send our deepest concern, respect, and condolences to the 3 families of the employees.
Though we don't know the exact condition of McNeese, we do know that Donnie Dowdy suffered from punctured lungs and broken ribs. Reporting in Huntsville, Callie Neese, 48 News, on your side.
And continuing our coverage on this situation, yesterday 48's Noah Cowell spoke with the family of Hank Hornbuckle, the man who was killed in Tuesday's crash. Take a listen.
Today, I talked to Hank Hornbuckle's daughters, who say losing him was shocking and devastating, not just for them, but the entire New Hope community. Now, their focus is on coming together and remembering the impact their dad left. We know Hank Hornbuckle as a longtime Huntsville Public Works employee and a candidate for New Hope City Council. But Alexis and McKinley, they know him as their fun and loving dad who impacted everyone around him.
Everybody in New Hope loves him and values him. Everybody knows who he is. And he's just such a fun, cut-up person that everybody loves being around him.
Alexis Hornbuckle, who didn't want her face on camera, says Hank was her role model, someone she could count on since day one. And when the wreck happened yesterday, she was in utter disbelief.
I was in denial. I was saying, this isn't funny. It's not April Fool's Day. You're joking. And then I grabbed my bag, ran out the door, and I just melted on my porch. I just screamed and cried.
They say losing their dad creates a big hole in their house, one that is impossible to fill. But countless family members and friends have reached out to them in the past day, giving them a ray of sunshine in this darkness.
It just allows you to depend on people. That way you don't have to do it all on your own. It doesn't hurt you more than it would have if you were left alone.
Alexis and McKinley say it's hard to know how they'll live every day moving forward without their dad, but in this dark time, they say they're extremely happy to know so many people loved him. There's no current word on the funeral arrangements. Reporting in New Hope, Noah Cowell, 48 News, on your side.
Certainly a very devastating situation there, and my thoughts are certainly with that family. But now coming up after the break, a Huntsville disc golfer notching her first professional win. 48 Sports anchor Cam Durr will have more on that. And tomorrow is the 4th of July. One thing you can do in the Sand Mountain area. It's been a tradition for 43 years now, and we'll talk about it all coming up in 1 minute. All right, well, hello everyone, and welcome back to Before the Four. I was looking at some of the comments on Facebook during the break, and I see we have one from a Miss Renee Steele. She says, hello from Point Mallard. Hello, Renee. I hope everything is going well. Thank you so much for watching Before the Four this afternoon. But now check out this awesome story. Disc golf, that's the sport for Huntsville native Cadence Burge, as she just walked away a champion, winning her first professional tournament. 48's Cam Durr with her story and what's next for the young lady.
The last time we spoke to Huntsville native and professional disc golfer Cadence Burge, she was preparing for some pretty elite disc golf tournaments. Well, this past weekend, she brought home her first tournament win as a pro, and now she's taking her talents international. On Saturday, Cadence held off the #1 women's disc golfer in the world, winning Discmania in a nail-biter.
Through about 11 or so holes, she actually ended up catching up to me and even taking the lead, I think through 13 holes. It came down to the very last hole. She was actually up by 1 on me, so I was losing. I had to go first, throwing my second shot, and I put it right next to the basket, and she ended up throwing her second shot out of bounds.
And that sealed the win for Cadence, her first Pro Tour victory, an unforgettable moment.
Was definitely a little bit of shock and kind of denial almost, kind of understanding the moment that was actually about to happen for real. This has kind of been the goal since I was really young, so it kind of feels like everything that I've been working towards, this is kind of what it's all led me to, and it feels really great.
Riding with confidence into her next challenge, new competition in 3 new countries, making a stop in Norway and 2 major disc golf tournaments in Estonia and Finland.
2 of them are the #1 and #2 course in the world, so that'll be super exciting to see some of the best disc golf there is out there. And honestly, I'm just really excited to see a different country. I know it's way different than it is here, and I want to be able to experience those kind of cultures and the environment. I'm just super excited to get those experiences because of disc golf.
Cam Durr, 48 Sports, on your side.
Yes, there is certainly a bright future in the world of disc golf for that young lady. World traveler, that is so awesome. But now maybe you're wanting to get out of the house, see an awesome parade, see some all-day live entertainment, and of course, gotta have the fireworks for the 4th of July. Well, the Sand Mountain Potato Fest is coming back to the Henniger community for its 43rd year. It's a beloved 4th of July tradition, and I recently spoke with Henniger events coordinator Sherry Gass all about it for 48 Now. Take a listen.
Yes, we have baked potatoes, we have loaded potatoes, we have potatoes on a stick. If you can cook a potato certain ways, then I'm sure that we'll have it for you at the Potato Festival.
That's right. I never met a spud I don't like, so 100%. And I want to and I want to touch on a bit of the history of the Potato Festival. Why is it always on the 4th of July, and how did it get started in the city of Henniger?
It was 43 years ago. They just started having a small little festival. It didn't have maybe 5 to 10 vendors. It was very small in the beginning and just got larger over time. To me, I think the fireworks was a big draw. When it started, the fireworks were detonated by our local fire department in the park. And so it has just grown over the years. When we first started, they would start the fireworks, they would light them, and it was the American flag in fireworks. And it was really nice.
That is so cool. Absolutely. And I love to see it's only continued growing each and every year for 43 years now. But Sherry, what would you say your favorite thing about the Potato Fest is?
I would have to say probably the parade. I think last year it was over an hour long. And this year I think it'll be even longer. We have Boy Scouts, we have the Shriners, we have our local American Legion this year. I think it's called American Legion Post 39, Henniger, Alabama. They are going to be our Grand Marshals. And these are just precious men and women that have served our country, and they deserve to be recognized.
That's right. Very well said there from Sherry Gass. Y'all, come on out to the Potato Fest in Henniger. The parade, I believe, starts at 9 a.m. and there's so much live entertainment, some musicians performing all afternoon until the fireworks, which is all set for 9 p.m. You're just not going to want to miss it. It's going to be an awesome time. And you can find more information about the Sand Mountain Potato Fest right now on our website. Just go to WAFF.com. You'll go to digital shows and then 48 Now. But now let's head into the stories you're just not going to want to miss coming up in our evening newscast. Following up on a church fire in Sheffield that rekindled yesterday afternoon, destroying most of the building. 48's Aria Pons will have more on that coming up. Another story you're just not going to want to miss, the latest on the big, beautiful bill now heading to President Trump's desk. Get all the latest details coming up. And finally, construction progress on the Northern Bypass project on Bob Wade Lane and Memorial Parkway. 48's Noah Cowell will have more details coming up. And these are just a few of the stories you're just not going to want to miss coming up in our evening newscast. And it is 3:55. We have time for Facebook fun. And our 48 Facebook question of the day today, what movie has the best soundtrack? And for me, I think I'm going to have to go with Transformers. I just love that first Transformers movie with Linkin Park in there. That song, What I've Done, is just an incredible song, and it really sets the tone for that movie, Transformers. And also, if you go through the rest of the score, some awesome, epic tracks in Transformers, of course. But let's see what you all had to say. Let's go. What movie had the best soundtrack? Dana said The Wedding Singer. Of course, that's Adam Sandler's The Wedding Singer. Awesome film there. Thank you. Lauren said The Lion King from the 90s. Elton John and Tim Rice made it a masterpiece. I agree 100% with that. Awesome soundtrack there. Angela said Dirty Dancing. Now, that's a film I actually haven't seen, but I've heard great things about it. Angela, thank you for commenting. Forrest Gump. That's right, John said Forrest Gump. An incredible film there, an American classic filled with classic songs. Love it. I love it. Ross said Dazed and Confused. I haven't seen that one either, but I've heard a lot of people saying that that is another really good one. Thank you for commenting. Trevor said Remember the Titans. I mean, how can you go wrong with Remember the Titans? An absolute classic. Guardians of the Galaxy from Tabitha. That is another really good soundtrack. I definitely have to agree with that one 100%. And then Michelle said Grease. A lot of people like Grease 100%, and I am a lot of people. I definitely like that entire musical. Top Gun from Lance Lay. Yes. Do have to agree with that. Man, you all had super awesome comments today. It is hard to just choose a few because I am a fan of movies and I am a fan of music and I like soundtracks. So awesome stuff. Thank you all for commenting on today's 48 Facebook question of the day. Y'all, that's just about all the time I have for today's Before the Four. But thank you all for sticking around, spending a bit of your Thursday afternoon here. I hope you all enjoyed tonight's evening newscast. And as always, thank you so much for watching. You all have a great night.